Ford Australia has announced pricing for the long-awaited T6.2 Ranger Ute. It starts at $35,930 for a base model 4x2 single cab, single turbo automatic vehicle with no manual transmission, and it runs all the way up to the flagship Ford Ranger Raptor off-road super ute with its new 292 kilowatt, 583 newton meter twin-turbo petrol V6. It's got a huge span across the entire Ford Ranger lineup, $50,000 from the base model to the range topper, and there are 24 variants in total, though that isn't unheard of for a vehicle such as the Ford Ranger. There are 4 engine choices and 2 new ones. A 2-litre single-turbo diesel unit producing 125 kilowatts of power and 405 newton meters of torque, and there's also a carryover 2-litre twin-turbo petrol diesel 4-cylinder. That makes 154 kilowatts of power and 500 newton meters, so slightly less power than before, but the same torque. Really, the headline though is the new flagship diesel in the core Ranger lineup. That is a 3-litre single-turbo V6 that produces 184 kilowatts of power and 600 newton meters of torque. It's aiming squarely at the Volkswagen Amarok, and you can get it for as low as $62,290 in the mid-spec XLT with a dual cab chassis. Some recurring models have changed in price by about $1,000. The maximum price increase is about $2,000, and the popular up-spec Wildtrak is up by $1,100. But really, the flagship Ranger sees this vehicle hit new highs in terms of pricing. It's up $6,100, the new Ranger Raptor, compared to the outgoing model. But for that, you do get a hell of a lot more. 135 kilowatts more power to be precise, 83 newton meters more torque, and a better all-wheel drive system. We've got a full walk around on the channel with editor Tom Baker showing you through that vehicle, and stay tuned because our correspondent Ian Curry is going to have a little preview drive coming along very shortly. So stay tuned for that and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, let me know your thoughts on the Ranger's pricing in Australia down below. So that's the executive summary. Let's dive into a little bit more detail about the prices. As I already said, the Raptor twin-turbo V6 petrol only now, is $85,490 before on-road costs. The Wildtrak diesel V6 is $70,190. Now that's only $3,000 more than the updated 2-litre twin-turbo model, which makes it seem like a pretty decent deal in our books, especially when you compare it to pricing of a vehicle such as the Volkswagen Amarok, itself due for replacement very soon. The sort of upper middle spec Sport with a diesel V6 is $66,690 as well, and that becomes a new permanent model where it was a limited edition model before. That's actually $11,000 more than the outgoing model, but it does have the new diesel V6 and it does have quite a few changes compared to the old Ranger. The Wildtrak and Sport are also available with the 4-cylinder engines for $3,000 less than the V6, as I said before, but you know, why would you do that when you can have 184 kilowatts and 600 newton meters in a ute and feel really sophisticated? So what about the options that are available from Ford for the Ranger at launch? Well, there's actually quite a great catalog of stuff. You can do stuff like fit all-terrain tyres for the XLT and Sport grades for just $500 extra over the standard highway terrain tyres that come fitted with that. You can also get 17-inch beadlock capable alloy wheels for your flagship Raptor if you really want to go hardcore bush bashing in it. That's going to cost you just $2,000 more. Not a whole lot more money. You can also sort of craft a Raptor Lite from the XLT, XL or XLS grades with the off-road pack that adds steel underbody protection, all-terrain tyres and a steel spare wheel. And in XL and XLS grades, that's going to cost you $1,150 because it also adds a rear locking diff. Whereas for the XLT, it's $650 because that vehicle is already equipped with a rear locking differential. Now, if you want to tow or go exploring around Australia, for example, Ford will sell you a touring pack for the XLT and Sport, which costs $900. That brings an integrated trailer brake controller, 360-degree camera, which makes it easier to maneuver your vehicle up to your caravan, and also puddle lamp mirrors and zone lighting. It actually seems like pretty good value. $900, not too bad. A tow pack on the XL and the XLS is going to cost you $1,700, and you can get heavy-duty suspension fitted to the XL grade for $500. One of the options packages that in the previous generation Ranger was very popular was the Xls Tech Pack, which adds a high-level sync for infotainment system, navigation, digital radio, climate control, rear air vents, and smart entry to the XLS for $750. Again, seems like a pretty decent value bundle of technology. Finally, you can get the Wildtrak Premium Pack. It's $1,500, but for that, you get heaps of stuff. Matrix LED headlights, full LED taillights, a B&O sound system, and auxiliary overhead blank switches that you can add your own customized switches to down the track for stuff like off-roading, spotlights, and any other further customization you want to add to your Ranger, which is what these vehicles are all about. And finally, prestige paint, so metallic or special colors, cost $675 on all grades. So that's a rundown of the new T6.2 Ford Ranger pricing in Australia. The car's launch is imminent, and we'll have more details and a full road test coming along very soon for the Ford Ranger. But of course, if you have any comments on the pricing, if you don't like how much the car's gone up in price, or you think the new T6.2 actually strikes a pretty good value balance, let me know down below. And if you haven't done so already, we'd also love it if you could hit subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching Chasing Cars.